So the goal today is to understand the first thing you need to know is key levels, right? Key levels, super important. Why? Because that's where we look to enter, that's where we look to exit, that's where we look to put our protection for the risk, right? Let me know if that makes sense. So key levels is it's the main thing, right? Key levels. And then we talk about structure. Now, everybody know I'm always talking about this ABC thing, right? ABC. ABC is just a short term of me saying break and retest and then take the trade. Type of three, if that makes sense. When you hear me say, hey, can you see the ABC? You're gonna say yes. I see the breakout, I see the retest, and I see where we would have took the trade. That's what I'm asking. So if you reference that and say, "Hey, Tom, looking at the ABC," then I understand that you're not just saying ABC as a label. You understand it's the break, it's the retest, and then we take the trade. Yes, Shy, let them light bulbs go off. What do I mean, right? Expansion, retrace. We're in the trade and we're up to get the money. If it's a downtrend, right? Expansion, retrace, and we're looking to continue back down, right? That's pretty much every trade we take. It has this premise. But I think a lot of times you guys are not sure how to really navigate it. So that's what we're going to work on. So remember, the first thing I said we got to focus on is your key levels. Right? So, how do we find a key level? So, we're going to work on this trend first. Right? So, I'm going to delete these two. And we're going to do an uptrend first. How do we know when we have an uptrend, guys? What makes an uptrend? Let me know in the chat. Let's see where this team is at. Yes. Higher highs, higher lows, easy money. So, the way we're going to work this system is when we're dealing with an uptrend, right? We're going to go here. We're going to grab this thing called the horizontal ray, not the line, right? The ray. First thing we want to do, since this is the 15-minute time frame, right? We're going to notate the higher highs. So I'm notating the first higher high. I want the rest of you guys to mark on the chart where is the rest of our higher highs. Where are they? Show me on the chart. Let's go, Bianca. Let's go, Sabine. Go, Ashley. Let's go, Abby. Perfect. So that means I should have three more of these key levels marked up, right? So on the uptrend, we're going to focus on putting that line on the higher highs. Type of two if we're on the same page. Can we all handle that? Right? Good job to the team for marking it up. Can we handle that? Right? But part of the homework I said was take your horizontal ray. You're gonna go into the settings and you're gonna label it. Right? I told you guys to do this on the 4 hour time frame. So you should write 4 hour S/R level. Then the next step is you go to template, you click save as, right? And you type 4 hour. I already have it saved, right? But I would click save. It says, do you want to replace it? Sure, it's the same thing, right? So now I'm able to move a little bit faster. I'm able to now just clone the tool, it doubles it, and I can just put it at those key levels. Is everybody following? Right? I also want to teach you how to move faster. Shouldn't take you so long to just mark up these key levels. We got it? Right? Why am I marking it up this way? Well, I'm marking it up this way because in an uptrend, we want to be able to signify where it's going to be the best levels to buy again. And then we get the opportunity to take the retracement trade down, right? Because a real quick recap. What does every move start with? Let me know in the chat. What does every move start with? Right? And you kind of got to notice background information. Let's go. Not change the character every consolidation. We need a trap first, right? We need the trap first. So, where's the trap? How do we know it's a trap? Somebody tell me in the chat. How do we know it's a trap? Right? It has to do with structure. How do we know it's a trap? Let's see these answers. Where them crypto nerds at? Let me see y'all in the chat. I see GYTB coming in heavy. Okay, Sully, right? Equal highs and equal lows. The next step after this, we need a breakout. That is called the what? What's that called? Expansion, right? The market says, hey, you have to expand because that's our confirmation to let us know where they want to go. You have to have expansion. It needs to expand out of the consolidation, right? So did we get the expansion, right? It expanded up, right? It created a new key level. The thing about this level is technically the uptrend, these higher highs, they're weak, right? We call them weak. Why are they weak? Can somebody take a guess? Why would I say, hey, this level is weak and our consolidation, which I call the base, is strong? It's strong. The base is strong, it's weak, right? Because we're going to break that, right? That's where our breaker structure is going to happen. So our goal is we want to be at the base so we can take the ride up towards that weak structure, right? Because if we can learn to keep our stop loss under the base, it's more protected and we're going to catch the ride, right? Because we love the sexy little downtrend, right? That's just a correction and we love drawing that trend line. Type of two if you understand why this trend line right here is so important, right? I know the crypto nerds love the trend line, right? Can you see how it all goes together? Andy like Ty, can you plug in, please? Let's go, Andy. Because it was shut down on you, let me tell you, because the girl be working, right? So what do we need to happen when it comes back to the base? And that's a lot of people' problem. They don't have the patience to wait for it to come back to the base. It give a little push up and they're like, oh, it's time to get back in. Type of two if that's you. You're like, oh, it came down, but it went bullish engulfing right there. I'm getting in, right? Let me know if that's you. Do you wait to come down a little bit more? You see another bullish move, and now you get in, right? They're building up liquidity on the both sides. That's a trap. We have to wait. Be patient. Let it come back to that base. And then when we see the breakout, maybe you can wait for the retest. We looking to carry that rod up, right? So that means this is the retracement phase, right? And if you notice, the market is gonna repeat that over and over. Everybody got that part? Retracement phase. Yes. And then we have the continuation. Now, I will say in the books, they're gonna call it, reversal, but I've learned people tend to remember it better when I say it's a continuation. We're continuing in the direction of the up move. Yes, we trapped the market. So now we already notated this key level. Did we get the breaker structure once we got a higher high? Right? Keeping it very simple. Did we get the breaker structure? Right? You can make note of it. So now you have two jobs. Once we get the higher high, you have to find your new base. Everybody type B in the chat. Once you get a new higher high, I need you to go find your new base. Can somebody point on the chart where they think the new base is at? Let's see if we're figuring it out. Where's the new base at? Ah, that's not the new base. That's the SNR level. It's a key level, but according to the ABC, that's not the new base, right? Where we at, team? That's not the base. It's not the base yet. It's just the SNR level. Let's go, Sean. Let's go, Bianca. Let's go, right? The base is the last place that we had the new consolidation before it broke out. Because guess what? This process repeats itself. Type of two, if you understand. This process, CERC, has to repeat itself. So where is the new consolidation that price then expanded from? Because remember, this market is just doing ABC over and over. So do we have a new 0 to A? And we have to find our what? Type in the chat. What we got to find? 0 to A. What's next? We're looking for the B. And the B is the base. Type of three if it's starting to make sense. The three is the base. So we have notated the most two key levels that we only need to pay attention to. We don't need to look at nothing else. SNR level and your base, because both are the only two places that it makes sense for us to want to get back in this market, because our SL must be below the base. Yes, Andy. Perfect. So if I was to enter, and this is now my new retracement phase, right? They're building up liquidity. They're creating that flag. We see it happening. We're gonna put our trend line, right? Do we know how far it's gonna retrace? Can price come this low and break structure? Yes or no? Can that happen? Can it stop short and break higher? Yes and yes. Are we looking to catch this trade if that happens? Let me know. Are we looking? Because you gotta have set rules. No, it's not for us. It's nice, as you get more advanced, you can kind of go for these moves, but in no reality, our goal is to minimize loss. If I enter here, where the hell are we gonna put the stop loss? In no reality, like where can you safely, smartly put a stop loss if we look to enter if it breaks right there? So at this point, is it worth the risk? It's no longer worth it. So we need to let that go, right? We care about that RR because I need people to understand it. You can be one of my students. I won't say who they are, but I think they said they're 30% accurate and they hit their all-time high growth in their account today. Somebody, I need somebody to drop some fire in the chat because I need you to understand what that means. Her RR is crazy. Are you 30% accurate? But you have the highest growth you ever reached today. I don't know if she want to be known, but if she do, I'll shout her out, you know. But that's amazing because I'm trying to show y'all what they told us in school. Hey, you got to get the A plus. You got to get 100%. No, that A plus just meant you more obedient to the matrix. Forget that 100%. I need a good RR. I need a good RR. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Right? And if I keep, and if I don't focus so much on this 36%, I just got to focus on today's another day that I wait for the break, that I wait for it to come back to the base, that I wait for the signal. Is my stop loss underneath a base so I'm safe? And then I take the trade and I relax. Let's go. Type some A's in the chat for Ashley. So hold on. I gotta stop sharing. because now I'm gonna put y'all to the test. Type of two if you're ready for the test, because you learn, and now we gotta apply a little bit, right? We learn, now we gotta apply it, because that's something a lot of people don't do. They do a lot of watching and not enough applying, right? Not enough applying. So we're gonna apply, but I gotta hide it so y'all can't cheat. Because this is how I know y'all get it for real, for real. This is how I know if you get it for real, for real. So type of three if you're ready. It's not that you're gonna purposely cheat, but your eyes can't, ignore what it saw. Your eyes can't ignore what it saw. So, you know, I don't think you're gonna try to cheat, but I want to really test you. All right. So I know we practice on the uptrend, but we're gonna reverse and start with the downtrend. So in the uptrend, the focus was higher highs. So if you had to take a guess, what would be the focus on this downtrend? Let me see if I could get 42 answers in the chat. Low or low. So what I want y'all to do, Zoom got that little green pencil. I want y'all to go click on that, and I want you to tell me where is my key SNR levels on this 15-minute time frame. I want y'all to show me where it's at. All right, so let's pause. Let's start over. Let's do it one more time. Let's, y'all know me. I'm a little anal. This is driving me nuts. Let's start over one more time. Let's slow down for a second. Pause. Hold on. Hold on. It shouldn't be no circles around nothing. We just went over the training. It's just one little line. I'm gonna need us to one little line, y'all. It is a lot of y'all, but we need one line. It shouldn't be circles. I don't know why we circling stuff. So let's try one more time. One line. You could just point a little bit. Just point to the lower low. Just you ain't even gotta drag it across. Just point. There we go. Hey, perfect. We most set one at a time. All right, we got it. Perfect. I think we all got it. So let's take this off. All right, good job, y'all. Just gonna find a chat for yourselves. Right? Who feel like they could do that? Right? We're gonna get a horizontal ray. Right? And if you save it, you could just click it. So now we could just move fast, right? Clone it, come down to the lower low. You're gonna come down to the next lower low. Right? Keeping the charts nice and clean, right? Nice and simple. We're not doing too much, right? Everybody got it? We feel good about this? It makes sense, right? All we did was low, low, no circles. Let's go, Sally, no circles. Let's go, Dwayne. It's sexy. So, the whole point is, for one, we're going to simplify it down to break and retest. What does that mean? We have to break one of these levels first in order to take the trade to the next level. So, if we had to take a guess, where's the first 15-minute SNR level that it would be okay for us to think to buy at? Let me see y'all point it on the chat. Where's the first one that we should look at to say, hey, if we get above here, we should buy? Ashley, current price. Get your ass all the way to the right side of the screen. Current price. We looking to trade today, right now, today. There you go. There you go. right? So shout out to y'all for that first level. Sure, sure. Because let's make note, right? Somebody made a good, asked a good question. This is a 15-minute time frame. So since we started structure, because this is what we're working on, structure. Since we started on the 15-minute time frame, when it's time for us to enter the trade and look for the signal, what time frame should we be on? Right. Let's go down to 5 and 1. Personally, I say the one. This is the 15-minute, but 5 minute is a great spot. Right? 5 and 1. So now that we located exactly where we want to enter, what do you think is the next step for you to do? Right? Because we have to remember what's our job as a trader. We located our key levels. We know there's two things. We can either buy or sell, right? Technically, right now it's an overall downtrend, so we should be prepping for a sell, right? And then you could prep your buy. And when I say prep your buy and sell, you're prepping your risk management, right? You have to know ahead of time before you enter the market what the risk is. And I know a lot of people say things like, oh, you should only do 20, 30 pips. I promise you, you can't really pick the pip stop loss. The market picks it for you, right? So remember what I told y'all. We have to have your stop loss underneath a base. So these key levels are bases alone, right? So if we were to enter at this level, where should the stop loss be? Right? Because I need y'all to understand you can't make the stop loss. The structure does. Where does the stop loss belong technically if you were taking this trade? I want everybody to point where they think the stop loss should go. Right? Realistically, where should it go? What if I enter at this structural level? Where should your risk go? Right? Some people say the same place. Some people say this level. Really, when you're dealing with structures and break and retest, it really is the next key level, right? Because that's why when you're focused on the levels and you take the training wheels off, right? Don't have the fib on, you'll start to learn how powerful going from level to level is, right? So let's just say we entered from this level. Where is your true first TP at? If we entered right here, technically speaking, where's your first true TP at? Where would your TP2 be at? Somebody drop Bianca in the chat. Or we could just drop some B's in the chat for Bianca. Yes, Bianca. Right? Peep the little area here. There is a strong base over here. Right? That master candle is sitting up there. That strong base is there. You might run into a brick wall because we got to remember we're still in a downtrend. Everybody got that? Until we cross over that last lower high, we're still in a downtrend. So we got to be mindful. Everybody caught that? Until we cross above here, we're still in a downtrend. This will be us taking the what part of the phase, right? We got to peep game and remember where we at. C, E, R, C. Are we in the expansion phase or the retracement phase? That retracement phase is probably coming up because we just broke a structure here. Let me take all the noise off for you guys. Kind of crowded. Right? I want y'all to see. Can you see that the 0 to A is what breaks structure? Y'all see it? 0 to A broke the structure. That's the expansion phase. Where is the two levels we're supposed to pay attention to where price is supposed to retrace, right? Going back to what we just learned earlier, where are my two B levels, right? S&R level and the base. S&R level and the base. We don't got no fib right now, Bria, right? We taking the training wheels off. There's no fib in your face. Because guess what? If you put the fib wrong, wouldn't it be better if you knew your key levels? Type of two if it makes sense. Because you could put your fib wrong. You could put the fib wrong. How many people have put the fib wrong? Right? They say, oh, well, put it here. Oh, well, maybe put it on this one. Oh, well, maybe put it on this one. Oh, well, maybe put it on the whole thing. Who is right? Who is right? But that lower low is what it is. That lower low is what it is. Yo Hakanashi Master Candle is what it is. That base is the truth. This base is the truth. Yes and yes makes sense. So if you had to master anything, master your key levels with the structure. All right. So we know that no matter if we go to 10, 5, 2, or 1, where are we looking to take this buy entry if it shows up? It doesn't matter. 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly. Don't matter what time frame you're on. Where's the level we're going to look for the buy? Where must price close above for us to take the first buy? No matter what. I got a couple of answers. Now I know some people are thinking, hey, we should take the buy once we get the change of character. But when it comes to this ABC setup, right, we have the expansion out of consolidation. Who likes to take a nice trade that's about 75% back up? Who wants this trade? Who also don't mind taking this trade up back to the base? Let me know. I do, right? I'm okay. Hey, I know you gotta go back at least to the first B. Why can't I take advantage? I know that this is the left shoulder. This will be a head. This is coming back into the right shoulder, right? Because it's all about level to level, zone to zone, pivot to pivot, right? So this is where the fib comes in, but we're not going to use that today. We're going to just focus on structure. So can somebody point to me where would be the spot we could have took a trade before we get to the B? Right? As we have the very conservative, very short entry, but then we have what we call the super snipe entry. Where is that entry at? Right? So the good thing would be find your master candle. I know everybody don't remember what a master candle is, right? But I'll point it out. Right? We got this nice master candle that we say is what? The consolidation, right? It pushed up, it came down, right? Doji, doji, doji. This is the master right here. It's controlling this last level. Did a candle close outside that level for a super snipe entry? And why do we say that this is a super snipe? It's super aggressive, right? But we are far away from the breaker structure, right? You could put your wrist underneath your last level, right? Got the signal, right? That didn't make you feel secure. Hey, this is last lower high, right? Low, low, lower high, low, low, right? To me, this is even sounder, right? Get us an early entry, working our way back up to this base. Now, I think I'm gonna remind y'all, when you're taking retracement trades and not going with the trend, it's the most risky and the most choppiest trade to take. right? Because you don't have as much room. This is not even that big of a drop to where we get the entry here. Do you understand that this is a key level? This is what I call running into a brick wall. And a lot of people not aware. They're just like, oh, it's supposed to go back to the base. It's not supposed to do anything. We hope it's going to do that, but we don't know if it's going to do that. So I have to pay attention. Where am I entering? So when I say this is aggressive, it's riskier, it's because your entry, you're running into the wall. Your goal is to trade on top of the wall. So that way you're trading up to it, right? You see this level? I would never say buy here with a base right above your head. You're running into a brick wall. Type of two, if this makes sense, right? You have to understand where you're at and where you're going. This is a no-go. If I'm gonna get in this trade, well, you're gonna have to get above that base, and then I can do this. This I'm happy about. This is good. This is good. Because then now, if we break this wall, I'm okay if I went into the brick wall now. But if I do get the break, then that'll be a really great setup, right? And then I have potential to go further. Let me know if that makes sense. Because hopefully you can see. This is why we was looking at that buy. Like, look at the liquidity that we broke, right? It ended up faking out, breaking a little bit lower, but we see it coming. That would be a change of character, and we really should stay in the buy at that point, right? So it's good to have your key levels on a lower low. So you already know your bases that when we get to your base, you continue to sell, but at least you have the turnover levels for when you need to go back up. It also, like I said, it gives us your TPs, your targets, right? So now that we got it pinpointed, right, you can practice in your demo and say, okay, let me see what it would, how it would play it out if I took the demo and maybe try to take it up to this base. Right? Let me see if I really wait for the 15-minute SNR, the level I'm really supposed to wait for. I wonder how many targets I might get because we have been in a series downtrend. They already kind of started with this double bottom here, but it ended up getting broken. That's why I always say be careful in a downtrend seeing double bottoms where you think it's a buy. It's just a liquidity trap for them to break lower, right? Every time they build up, they got to build a new trap to break. Right? A new trap, they break it, right? If it's still in a downtrend, right, and it gets up to your base and then it gets in the base and close below, well, I also can have my sell ready, right? This is the beauty of having everything ready. You just got to be now patient and wait to execute. So right now we're working on the buy, right? And I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be a buy. But what I want to do is help you see the actual entry for your buy. So you can stay on this time frame if you want, but I suggest going at least starting at the 5 minute because you want to see when it actually closes because the structure time frame you built on, the candles are going to be bigger, but it will hold smaller candles within so you can actually see when it closes. So we're going to go for this entry. We're not going to use this entry because I feel like the first aggressive entry, you should kind of use that as your confirmation that your move is on the way. Let me know if that makes sense. You should use that first entry, right? When we broke out this 15-minute master candle, I was like, hey, yes, okay, cool, cool. Because if we close above this, we're closing above that nice last lower high for a change of character, right? And I'll show you the entries both for Japanese and Hakanashi. But we just need a candle to close above to get in. Does that mean soon as the candle close above that you're gonna go straight into profit? No, it doesn't mean that. You can, but that's why we have the safety net. This is our safety net, right? That's why I tell people don't close your trade. Let it do what it's due. It's nothing worse than seeing this happen and then it hit all targets. If that's happened to you, type of one, let me know. Right? We already made up our mind that we're risking this 0.5%. I don't know what the 0.5% is for your account, but starting at the 5K, it's $25. I don't care if this thing said 138 pips, if it said 50 pips, if it said 25 pips is a stop loss. If your account 0.5% is $25, you change the lot size until you get to $25. So if a 0.05 makes you trade and you go to risk it and it's $80, you can't use a 0.05. Keep going down until it says 25. This stop loss number is not the issue. You adjust the lot until it says 25. Let me know if that makes sense. Because that's most traders' problem. They don't have no idea what they're risking. They just see, oh, buy, and they get in. Oh, well, I got 500, so I did a 0.01 for every 100, so I did a 0.05. But that 0.05 cost you really $125 and you didn't know. Let me know if that makes sense. Yeah, 5K, $25 is 0.5%. $50 is your other percent. Respect the percent. Because on a 200K account, that 0.5%, you're gonna wish you respected that 0.5% when you had 5K. I promise you. There's too many people focused on, oh, but what if I don't win enough? Oh, but what if you can't keep your capital? Are you tired of blowing accounts? Preserving capital is better than trying to go for the big wins, right? Do we have an entry yet? That's the first question. Do we have an entry? Do we technically have an entry yet? Which I think. Sally asked Master Candle. Okay, I'll come back to it. All right, let's zoom in. And technically, since this is the high, we can really put it over. Let's put it over to be official. Preserving capital, baby. The wins is gonna come, right? But can you stay at the market when you don't see your setup? Can you not over leverage, right? We went 13 and 0. Are you gonna over leverage on the 14 trade because you feel like, well, Ty, you didn't miss. And guess what? I'll miss on number 14 just because you thought today was the day to over leverage. Yo, you and Anoint to be going crazy. Y'all don't really miss that often. The universe is listening to you. We all gonna win the trade, and somehow your finger gonna slip, and you gonna do something weird because you was trying to go against the grain, right? So I want you to know you have to stick to your plan, even when you're doing amazing. Stick to your plan, even when you're not doing so great. Because right now, we waiting for what? Can we get in the entry yet, or we still waiting? Ty, I think I just want to trade gold or something. I feel like EU take too long. You need to work on your patience. Because the thing you don't want to be patient for, you want to move too fast, it's going to blow your account fast. It's going to blow your account fast. Because it realized your personal development is still not ready. I will explain the master candle, Sully. You just have to wait for this entry. Be patient, Sully. It's coming. I promise. But I also gave you the Canva training today. So please make sure you study that thing. Did you get it? Did everybody grab the Canva training? Because if you ain't in that chat and you're not in the crypto nerds paying attention, you missed it. You missed it. Do we have an entry yet? Somebody could have said, hey, Ty would have took that snipe again. Just notice the snipe came through again, right? But who's gonna wait patient and wait for it to close above? Can somebody see another ABC forming? Can you see the little consolidation break? Did they come back to the base? Can y'all see it? Go back a little bit, right? Put into practice what you're learning. Because now this aggressive entry became a lot nicer. It became actually a lot sexier when, right? CERC. We see the trap. It's inside the purple master candle from the 15-minute. This purple area is the master. Check. Did it expand out of the consolidation? Boom. Check. Did it retrace back to the base? Retrace. It's back at the base. All right. So this is a really important part for the entry. So since y'all on here, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the moment real quick. Uptrend. Akanashi. Bullish candles. What do we call them, team? What do we call these? Bullish Hakanashi candles. What do we call them? Flat on the bottom. Flat bottoms. After every expansive move, it becomes a stall out. Consolidation likes to show up, and the candles start getting smaller. But eventually, the doji shows up. Boom. Doji. Right? Indecision. Right? I always say envision arrows at the top. It's saying we going up, we going up, we going up, we going up. And this is like the Wizard of Oz. It came through and said we going up and down. Everybody got it? Flat bottoms. Up, 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 up. Pause. Going both directions. Everybody should stop. Now, the candle to the left is the trap controller. It's gonna hold them that trap in there. So when we see it, we trap the trap instead of being caught in this trap, right? The wicks can go up and out of it, but as long as the bodies cannot get past this last candle at the top, that's the master candle. You put your box around that thing, right? You trap the trap. And the price open up again, it's doing this. And you're like, man, I want to take this retracement trade. I want to take it back down to the base. Ugh, and it's doing this. And then people start getting in the trade. They start getting in the trade, and then it'd be like stuck in a trap. Type of one, if you understand, patience is key. You have to let the candle close. Do not become part of the trap. And then the next candle comes open. All right, we at it again. 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 Close. It's closed below. The signal is activated. It's game time. Where are we going? Well, typically, before this happened, there was a trap down here, right? There was a trap down here, right? And this master candle is how we find our base. That's the base. That master candle that controlled the trap is the base, right? Now, understand this expansion needs to be have enough volume to make it sense to actually come take the retracement, right? But our job is we're being patient. We want it to come to the base, and then it finally gets to the base, just like our trade right now. It's hitting on the base. So what do you think we need to show up at the base now for us to go back up? What do y'all think we need in order for us to go up? All right, we need a trap. We just robbed somebody. We need more people to get in here. We need the impatient people to get in here. We need everybody that don't know what's going on to get in there. I feel sorry for them, but hey, they need to tap in and get the source and figure it out. Now we trap in the trap, and all the retail traders is probably trying to sell. I don't know what they're doing, but we over here, we chilling, we clocking it, we see it, and we're like, oh yeah, we waiting, right? We doing personal development, we studying, we doing our homework, and then we wait. We need the signal. If I stay on the 15-minute time frame, the signal might look like that. I don't want to get in after it broke away that far, but how many 1-minute candles is inside of this 5-minute candle? Let's change the color. How many 1-minute candles is in this 5-minute candle? Wouldn't it be better if we could catch it like that? Catch this signal right here? Then we're going to have 15 1-minute candles. Now that 15-minute might give us this, right? We might see the ABC happening like that. The lower we go, it just paints a better picture so we can know how to get in. Let me know if that makes sense. Master starts the consolidation, breakout, expansion. Master starts the next level of consolidation for that pivot, retracement. Consolidation to start us to get in, to take the move, to break the weak ass high. And we are going up. Right? So now we got to come down to the chart. Let me know if y'all see it. Is it making sense? What we waiting for now? I think we all know what we waiting for. It ain't much to look for. Let me see. What we need first. Before the signal could come, we need something else. Let's go, Michael. We need a trap. Where the trap at? It's no trap. Right now, they still in charge. The last thing you want to do is say, oh, well, we're at the base, jump in. Well, what if they decide to go down more? Because we are still in the downtrend. That's correct, Sully. You can't see this with the Japanese, right? Another thing you can do is, I need y'all to remember that it's a lot of different names for candles, but when y'all understand about the open and closes, this is the last sell candle that opened. As long as that open keep getting lower and lower, the sellers are in charge, right? So if I even switch to Japanese candles, as long as the sellers opened, keep getting lower, the sellers are in charge. So if I want to buy, I need the buyers to overtake the sellers open. And that's how you get bullish engulfing, right? We need the takeover. So if I'm, forget what these candles is called, the open is the open. Yes and yes. The open is the open. You could call it any name you want to call these candles. The open is the open. We need the closers to take over the openers for every trade we want to take. Right? The sellers was in control, but we needed the buyers to take over the open. And here we go. Now the retracement, we need the sellers to keep opening lower. So, that's what we're waiting for. But Hakanashi just gives us a little sweet action to say, hey, we need the doji to come up. Here we go. Here's the start. Let's trap it. See what happens. If we break lower, well, it's not our trade. We looking for the buy. Because if we're gonna look for the sell, we needed to look for it higher. All right, we starting to get some action now. Can we get in a trade or we still have to wait? Is the trap still trapping? Can we get the sniper entry? Can we take the earlier entry? Still below the base. This will be the sniper entry. Trapper still trapping, right? Did we get the signal? Is it game time? Is it game time? What y'all think? So if anything, you could say, okay, I'm confident, I'm getting excited. Maybe they are gonna finally get above my entry. Or, you might be a Ty Pips and you're like, hey, Ty, I'm getting there here. I'm getting in this thing. All right, let's switch to the Japanese candles. Did we get the bullish engulfing? Did they take over? They took over. Then they even took over this bullish engulfing. It's go time. Either way, the buyers are taking over the openers. They're taking over. And that means it's time for us to try to get in this thing. Right? We even got the other 15-minute entry. Maybe you need a little more conservative entry. Right? I always say it's the sellers versus the openers. Closers versus the openers. Whether you're going up or down. Right? Who crying that they got took out? Hey, because we're gonna pause because this happens. Right? Who's crying if they just hit their stop loss and they lost their 0.5%? Right? Because this is stuff people don't talk about. So I try to show y'all that you can follow everything I teach you and still hit stop loss. But the bigger thing is, are you going to be able to stick with the system and know that you got to stick with the system? You don't give up. You evaluate and you say, hey, man, maybe my stop loss was too tight. Oh, this don't work, Ty. I gotta go find a whole other strategy. This don't work. No, you don't give up. You don't give up. You reassess, you rinse and repeat. You rinse and repeat. Everybody got that? This also should show you, hey, when I take aggressive entries, I understand I might get taken out. I want you to put that in your notes. If I take aggressive entries, I might get taken out more than I would if I wait for the structure. Right? Because this is what people do. They be like, oh, well, Ty, you said it's a master candle. It was a signal. I should have been able to get in. But I also tell you the key level is more important. The key level is most important. Let me know if that makes sense. Right? I'm trying to really put a lot of gems in one call so y'all can see it playing out. Right? So now the next step is, do we give up on this trade idea altogether? Do we just trash it and be like, oh, throw it away? Is it over? Do I need to go look for something else right now? Or do I say, you know what? Okay, you wasn't really patient. You ain't wait for the entry, girl. You ain't even wait for the high or low entry. You didn't wait for the change of character entry. You didn't even wait for the 15-minute level, right? So that should help you be like, okay, I'm getting my discipline together. I'm gonna be patient. Ty said use the first one as confirmation and then wait for the main entry, right? And then the more you back test this, the more you will see how it will work out more in your favor when you stick to the main rules, right? Stick to the rules. Key levels are better than all the other stuff. Key levels are better than all the other stuff. Now, are we really into a buy? Right? We done cracked the blue base that we had. Right? Break a level, retest the level, take the trade up. Right? Once we hit the change of character and the key level, the trade was better off. You stayed away from the trap zone. And this is why the buy played out the way it did for us. All right, guys. It's 9:06. Time to get out of here. Shout out to everybody that participated, tuned in. We out of there. You're welcome, guys. Have a good night. Oh, you know what? For my team, I guess I should stay on for one quick second. I forgot to help you out. My bad. Hold on. My bad. Because y'all not about to harass me about this homework all weekend. Let's get it right now. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's get this homework together because I'm gonna be MIA, y'all. Um, dang. Hold on. Let me take this off real quick. Y'all got me crying, man. All right. Okay, so cool. Because I saw a lot of the homeworks, and I think I will say some of you guys got to go back and fix some things. First, we got to be able to just point out the breaker structure, right? The homework says, I want you to show me where we broke structure, and then show me where the retest happened to that structure, and we continued, right? So where's the 0 to A? Who broke structure? We broke structure right here. So if this is the level we broke, this is the key level, right? You see it. Where was the retest to that level? Where would you point to it at? Right? This is the break structure. Where's the retest? Right? I think I was just overthinking it a bit. Retest, right? You can even just point to it and say, use the call out, say, Ty, I found the retest. That's it right there. Right? We break. This is the retest to the level we broke. But first, you got to put all your key levels so you can see where it happened, right? Expansion, retest, continue down back to that level to break the week low. Everybody got that? That's all you're doing for the homework. That's it. Right? I know. I think I just make y'all nervous, but y'all gotta get over that. ABC. 0 to A. Retracement. Retest. Continue. Get over it. Let it go. All right, guys. That's it. I love y'all. Have a good night. I'll see y'all next week.